Yes, Mataji. Now I can. Okay. So, thank you all for joining in today Chaitanya Charitamritam session. So, let's start our prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripathamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Akanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavane Ishwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhupye Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So now we are in Chaitanya Charitamritam, Madhya Lilla, chapter 25. Right, Mataji? Okay. So, thank you all for joining in today's Chaitanya Charitamritam sessions. So, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So let us see a slight recap of last week, what has happened in chapter 25. So this is about devotees, a lot of devotees, they have changed into devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's a short summary of 25th chapter. So a Maharashtrian Brahmana who was living in Banaras was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was always very happy to hear the glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by Lord's mercy, it was by his arrangement, then all the sannyasis of Varanasis became devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this incident has been already described in Adi Lila, 7th chapter. So in that part, some of the Leelas was described, because again, if the repetition has happened, then it will become a heavy, huge topic. So what Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami has decided that what has not been described in Adi Lila 7th chapter, some of the very pastimes, very cherishable pastimes was described in this Madhya Lila 25th chapter. So from that day, many important men becomes followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in that, one of the disciples of great sannyasi, Prakashananda Saraswati, he became devoted to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what happened? One day Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to take bath in Panchanada. Panchanada means when it was previous, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was that time, it was the northwestern side of Bharata Desha. So now it has been summarized as Punjab. Now this place is called is in Punjab. So all the devotees started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in front of Bindu Madhava. After all the followers became the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they all chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in front of the Bindu Madhava temple. So Prakashananda Saraswati immediately fell down at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and very much regretted his past behavior towards the Lord. So after that, what happened? He asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about devotional service, how to do devotional service in terms of Vedanta Sutra. So, and Lord told him about devotional service that is approved by great personalities. So, who know Vedanta Sutra. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then pointed out about Srimad Bhagavatam is the proper commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. He then explained the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam that has been described to Prakashananda Saraswati by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is Chaturshloki Srimad Bhagavatam. So what is that Chaturshloki Srimad Bhagavatam is? It is Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.33, 34, 35, 36, which is the very great essence of the great scripture of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is called as Chaturshloki of Srimad Bhagavatam. So already we know about Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. So the same thing, it has been 2.9.33, 34, 35 and 36. It has been described as the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam. Is that fine, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay. So today we'll move into today's session of, is the screen visible, Mataji's, Prabhuji's?
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Yeah. So let us see 1-2 shlokas previous recap. So what has happened? So in text 21, so we saw the whole city become surcharged with Krishna Katha. So everyone began to sing, dance, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone was so enthusiasm in singing up Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, but the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it was spread like an infection all over the Varanasi, and everyone was chanting in a very ecstatic mood. So it has been described in text 21. So what has happened in text 22, in verse 22? So the so far sannyasis were concerned. So they particularly gave the so-called Vedanta study, and they simply began to discuss on the sublime presentation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were enjoying with the Lord. So this was explained in text 22. So now let us jump into today's session of Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lilla, 25th chapter of 23rd verse. So would someone like to volunteer of today's session, Madhajis and Prabhujis?
Can I read, Mataji?
Yes, Madhaji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 25.23. Prakashanandanera Shishya Eka Tanhara Samana Sabha Madhye Kahe Prabhura Kariye Samana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One of the disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati, who was as learned as his guru, began to speak in that assembly, offering all respects to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. So what has been said in this verse? So after the incidents, one of the chief disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati, so he stood up and began to glorify Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the following words. Let's see what he has described about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the next verse. Yes, Shobha Mataji, would you like to read, Mataji? Or anyone?
Hare Krishna, can I read, Mataji?
Hare Bol. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Asakta Narayana Vyasa Sutre Hatta Karena Ati Manorama. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He said Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana himself. When he explains the Vedanta Sutra, he does so very nicely. Haribol, thank you, Mataji. Sorry for the delay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So what has been described here, among the Mayavadi sannyasis, the ethic is to address one another as Narayana. So they say, they say Namo Narayana. Everyone is Narayana. I address you as Narayana and you address me as Narayana. So a mutual praising society of Narayana in Vedanta culture, right? So Narayana Eko Asit. In the Vedas, it is said that the only Narayana was before creation. So after creation, all the living entities become Narayana. So this is the Mayavadi philosophy, that there is no separate Narayana. So Narayana has mentioned pantheism. So Narayana has manifested himself in so many varieties, and the varieties is closed. Then again, Narayana remains. So the Mayavadi sannyasis, they address one another as Narayana. So as we said before that, you are also Narayana, I am also Narayana. You are also God, I am also God. So after the death, so we'll go and merge with the Lord. So that is their main philosophy. That is Mayavadi philosophy. So these Mayavadi sannyasis, they address one another as Narayana. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also a sannyasi. So he is addressing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he is the supreme Narayana. So he is the supreme God, supreme absolute truth. So as the chief Narayana. So Nitya Nityanam, Chetanas, Chetananam. It has been described in Katha Upanishad 2.2.13. So the Supreme Lord is eternal. So the Lord is always eternal and the living beings are all eternal. The Supreme Lord is cognizant and the living beings are cognizant. So the difference is that the Supreme Lord is supplying all the necessities of life for many other living entities. So as it is stated in Katha Upanishad, it has been described in Katha Upanishad that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the leader of all other personalities. So he is also a person, we are also a person, but he is the leader of all living entities. So he is the supreme living entity of all the externals and he is the supreme external. So this is the difference. We have to find out that what Mayavadi philosophies are trying to explain us. They are trying to confuse us in so many ways and that. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is making a clear statement that what is devotional service and how we should live, what is the God's feature. So we should all understand this and we have to apply in our life. So if not, it will become a waste of time only. So the disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati, they addressed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After accepting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they came to know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, Supreme Absolute Truth. So they started glorifying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Narayana, Chief Narayana. So Sakshat Narayana. So we all are the imitation, but Narayana, you are the chief. But the Lord is the absolute Chief Narayana. So Vyasa Sutrena Arthakarena Ati Manorama. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special qualification is that he presents Vedanta Sutra in very such a nice way. So we all know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very fluent in his grammatical way. So he was very well in explaining the Vedanta Sutra also. So after explaining about Vedanta Sutra, so they all were astonished about the way Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained. So that it was very, very wonderful and it was so nicely delivered by Lord Chaitanya. Is it fine, Mataji and Prabhujis? Am I too fast or please kindly let me know? Mataji, am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
It's fine, Mataji. Can I
Yes,
read,
yes.
Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Sumati
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Dandavad Pranams, Mataji. Upanishadera karena mukhyartha vyakyana shuniya pandita lokera judaya manakana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains the direct meaning of the Upanishads. When all learned scholars hear this, their minds and ears are satisfied. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So what it has been said in 25th verse that after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented the very direct explanations of Upanishads, direct meaning of Vedanta Sutra. So the import of Upanishads in such a way that everyone became pleased by hearing about this explanation. So their ears and minds, they were so satisfied about after hearing from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the direct explanations of Upanishads and about the Vedanta Sutra. Yes, Mataji. Sudha Mataji, would you like to read, Mataji?
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. सूत्र उपनिषदेरा मुख्यार्थ साड़िया आचार्य कल्पना करे आग्रह करिया. Translation by Divine Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Giving up the direct meaning of the Vedanta Sutra and the Upanishad, Shankaracharya imagines some other interpretation. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So here in this verse, it has been described that the Shankaracharya, he has imagined some meaning about Vedanta Sutra and he has written his own commentary. So and therefore that is not so pleasing comparing to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanation. So Lord Chaitanya, Shankaracharya imagination was not that much satisfied. So it was some interpretation was there. So the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has given a very, very vast explanations about Vedanta, Sutra and Upanishads that was so much pleased and the minds and ears were so satisfied. So it was a very, very direct explanations. There was no indirect way, these, that, and in that way it has not mentioned or it has not delivered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was a very, very direct explanation about Vedanta Sutra and the Upanishads. Yes, Mataji, Prabhuji. Arun Gupta Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for now.
Hare Krishna.
आचार्य कल्पिता अर्थ ये पंडित सुने मुख्य होया करे हृदय न माने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All the interpretations of Shankaracharya are imaginary. Such imaginary interpretations are verbally accepted by learned scholars, but they do not appeal to the heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. So in text 27, what it is been described is the Mayavadis. So they talk about the Sharirika Bhashya of Shankaracharya. So, and we say, yes, okay, it has been, they are mentioning about this Shankaracharya's philosophy, Mayavada philosophy. We say actually, but it does not appeal to us. It does not touch our hearts. It is not so satisfied to our minds and ears. So here, some other important point of Mayavadi philosophy is what they say to them. Each one of them, they say that I am God, your God, but actually he thinks within himself that what kind of God I am. So what is the position of me? So, but for argument's sake, they will play many things in support of their views. But actually, any sane man will think, what kind of God I am? So I cannot defend myself from the slightest attack of this material nature, but still I claim, so I am God, I am God. We cannot against of this three folds of miseries, right? So even though we know that I cannot, I have to undergo Adi Adhyatmika, Adi Devika, Adi Bhautika, the miseries of this material God, but still I claim to that I am a God only. I can do whatever I think. So I am doing everything. So in that way, the Mayavadi philosophers, they think, but still they think that we cannot avoid this material miseries. So, but they cannot admit frankly. So, yes, this has happened, this is happening. So they cannot take it. So still they claim that I am God only. They think like that. That is being admitted here by the chief disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati. Here by the chief disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati, that although we say, yes, this is, but it does not appeal to our mind. So whatever the imaginary interpretations are given by Shankaracharyas, the Mayavada philosophies, but verbally, but it is not so pleasing because there are a lot of interpretations. It is not so elaborate explanations that was given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that was so pleasing. Yes, this is the actual meaning of Vedanta Sutra and Upanishads. Okay, Mataji, Prabhuji.
May I, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. 1 second, Mataji. Just
okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Vakyadhrata Satyamani Kali Kale Sanyase Samsara Nahi Jini. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The words of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are firm and convincing, and I accept them as true. In this age of Kali, one cannot be delivered from the material clutches simply by formally accepting the renounced order. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now he says that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, has said that it is very nice. The explanation given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the Vedanta Sutras and Upanishads was very, very, very nice. And we simply accept this sannyasa order. So okay, that will not help us by simply accepting the sannyasa order. Simply by accepting the sannyasis is like changing the garment, like the color garments, and without understanding anything properly, or delaying properly. So that is not the way of salvation. So we have to clearly understand what has been said by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you simply accept it, if you are not able to understand it properly, and it's simply a waste of time, and it is like changing the garments. So it is simply a waste of time. So that is not the way of salvation. So because according to Sankaracharya's, anyone who accepts sannyasas, he becomes immediately Narayana. He immediately becomes God. So he immediately becomes God. That is not right. So that is Mayavada philosophy. But our true Vaishnava philosophy is that no one can become God. Actually, we are the servants of the God. So that is being refuted by one of the disciples, that this is nonsense. So that simply by accepting and changing the garment, I became God. No. Actually, one has to understand things they are. So far, the explanation was given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is right. So we'll see in upcoming verses, so what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been described. So in previous chapters also, in Adi Lila also, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to explain about devotional service, how we should lead our life. So all these explanations, we have to keep it in a proper way. Otherwise, we'll be getting confused, and it is like changing the garments simply, okay, from one garment to another garment. That means simply changing the bodies. So we have to clearly understand what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to explain about devotional service. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Hare Nama Slokera Yeyi Karila Vyakhyana Seyi Satya Sukha Dharta Parama Pramana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explanation of the verse beginning Hare Nama is not only pleasing to the ear but is strong factual evidence. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. So here Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanations was beginning as Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining that my Guru, who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru, is Ishvara Puri. His Guru Maharaj is saying that I am a fool. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru is saying, he asked me to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what was that? Why we have to chant Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Ye Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva Gatiramita. So what is the explanation for this? For spiritual progresses in the age of Kali, there is no alternative, there is no alternative to the holy name, to the holy name, to the holy name. So in this age of Kali, if we have to free from the cycle of material of birth and death, then we have to chant the holy name of the Lord. That means Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is the Sankirtana movement created by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the Sankirtana Yajna? Chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this was the explanations given in 29th verse. Yes, Mataji. Padma Mataji, would you like to read?
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bhakti vina mukti nahe bhagavate kaya kali kale nama bhase sukhe mukti haya. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. In this age of Kali, one cannot attain liberation without taking to the devotional service of the Lord. In this age, even if one chants the name of Krishna imperfectly, he still attains liberation very easily. Thank you, Mataji. Pranams.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranams, Mataji. So already we saw in the previous verse, in the age of Kali, one cannot attain liberation. Without taking devotional service, we cannot attain liberation. So only through Sankirtana movement, through Sankirtana Yajna of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra leads to liberation. So we'll further discuss about what Krishna Raj Kaviraj Goswami is trying to explain us. So far the salvation is concerned. So nobody can be liberated without bhakti. Bhakti means devotional service. Bhakti Veena. It has been described in this first verse of this shloka. Bhakti Veena. Without devotional service. Bhakti. Without devotion, that means without love of Godhead, without attaining, this is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam. So long, if one is not a surrendered soul to the Supreme Lord, there is no question of liberation from this material world. So bhakti leads to liberation. Because we have to clearly understand and we have to connect it. So why it has been explained that bhakti leads to liberation? Because Mayavadi philosophies, they always think about the impersonalism, the formless of the God. So it is very difficult. So when they reach also, there's a chance of falling down. So, but when you do bhakti, when you do loving devotional service to the God, there's a chance of liberation. Liberation means what? Free from the cycle of birth and death. So in this age of Kali, if one chants the holy name of Krishna imperfectly, it's okay. Mahaprabhu is saying it's okay. Still he attains liberation very easily. Yeah. Can someone volunteer, please?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Shreya Shritim Bhaktim Udasyate Vibho Klishyanti Ye Kevala Bodha Labdhaye Tesham Aso Kleshala Eva Shishyate Nanyadhyatha Stula Tushavaghātinām. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the only auspicious path. If one gives it up simply for speculative knowledge or the understanding that these living beings are spirit souls and the material world is false, he undergoes a great deal of trouble. He only gains troublesome and inauspicious activities. His actions are like beating a husk that is already devoid of rice. His labor becomes fruitless. Further, this is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Verse 4. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Pranav. So in this verse, it's a beautiful verse explained about the devotional service. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, in 4th verse, it said, Shreya Shratam Bhaktim Udasyate Vivo. So, my dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. So, if someone gives up that path, and engages in the cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and he will not achieve his desired result. So it's for example, it says that a person who beats an empty husk of wheat, how he will get grains? No, he cannot get grains. So one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is troublesome. So when I was searching some points, so by God's grace, by Srila Prabhupada's grace, I got some very, very important points in one of the Prabhupada's sites. So I would like to share with you all. So there's a nice from Srimad Bhagavatam. Here it has been explained by Srila Prabhupada. It is said that Shreya Shritam, the real path of salvation, Shreya Shritam Bhaktim, that is devotional service. Bhaktim, devotional service, Krishna consciousness. Shreya Shritam Bhaktim Udhasyate Vivo. If somebody gives up the path of devotional service, Klishyanti Ye Kevala Bodha Labdhaye, and waste his time simply for understanding that this is not Brahman. So that is the way of Mayavadi philosophers. They scrutinize that this is Maya, this is Brahman, this is not Brahman. So simply they will speculate all these things. But It's simply a waste of time only. So therefore, they are called Mayavadis. So simply, what is not Brahman? They say it is one, but simply they distinguish this is Maya, this is Brahman, this is not Brahman, this, that, and everything. They'll keep on speculating. So they can say where from the Maya comes, then it becomes dualism. Actually, because they are not in a very clear way of understanding. They are always in a confusion state of mind. So they do not know where the Maya comes from. It is an external source of Krishna only. So they doesn't know all these things. So the confusion still be in a path only, because they always want to or try to know about the impersonal future only. They doesn't go beyond, and they don't want to accept even there is a God, there is a form. So this is the difference. So they are always in a confusion state of mind. So what is Maya? What is Brahman? What is not Brahman? So they'll be in always a speculative knowledge only. So they say that the Maya is a illusion. There is no Maya. All these things they will keep on blabbering. So Maya, we all know that Maya is temporary, and actually everything is one. Eko Brahma Vitiya Nasti. So, but Vaishnavas, we devotees that know that Maya is one of the energies of the Lord. So, but what God is one, but there is a lot of varieties, right? So we don't say that Maya is something external. Maya is there. It is not external. It may be inferior, as it is explained in Bhagavad Gita, that Maya is material energy, material nature is inferior. So that does not mean that it is false. Maya is temporary. So Srila Prabhupada gives a nice example. So means some part of my body is inferior. That doesn't mean it has no existence. So it is not Maya. They say everything is mithya. Mithya means false. So mithya or inferior part of my body. So there may be, but it is not false. It is there, right? So similarly, the Maya is not false. It is temporary. That we have to make it in a clear way of understanding. So because Mayavadi philosophy, they think that Maya is false, but we have to understand clearly that Maya is not false, Maya is temporary. So in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita also, simply it is giving a clear-cut explanations that the Maya is temporary, it is not false. So, but the Mayavadis, they keep on speculating, and they do not show any interest for a devotional service or Krishna consciousness. Then it has become Tesham Ashu Klesha Eva Shishyate. So their advancement in self-realization is simply a troublesome. So they simply take the trouble of discriminating act. This is Maya, this is Brahman, this is not Brahman, this is false. So this is reality of, because they have no other engagements. But for a devotee, there are so many engagements, there are so many services. But the Mayavadi philosophers take it for a granted of this devotees' activities. What Baba they are doing, these, that, and everything. They are simply wasting time hearing all this katha, all this Krishna pastimes. So what is the use? So they think like that. So that is simply a waste of time for them. But we devotees, we have lots and lots of services in Krishna's activities, like cooking, making prasadam, offering to the Lord, tying garlands, singing, dancing, cleaning up the temple, cleaning up the deities. So much activities we have. So this Bhakti Marga is not appealing to them, because they don't take the Bhakti Marga. They don't want a devotional service. So similarly, the Bhaktas also say that we also think that why these Mayavadis are simply wasting their time speculating in so many blah blah things. They are against God. They are always focusing on impersonal Brahman. So they are wasting time. We do always think like that. No? So the real thing, everyone should follow this. Real thing is to engage is in Krishna. So according to them, Krishna is also Maya only. According to Mayavadi philosophers, Krishna is also Maya for them. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that they are fools. So the Mayavadi philosophers, Mayavadis they are fools. How? Vajananti Mamuda. So Muda means fools. They minimize me. So the Bhagavad Gita in 9.10, it says that there is another verse in Srimad Bhagavatam also, that one may be very much expert to count even the atoms of the universe. They may smash the universe and grind it into the powder, and they can just count it, but that is not possible. That is possible, but still it is not possible to understand the Supreme Lord. We may count the even the stars also, but to understand about the Lord's activities, Lord's pastimes, it is not that easy. So therefore, who understands Lord Krishna, he understands everything. When we started about thinking about the Lord, about his pastimes, when we start relish about him, in ecstatic mood, we think of Lord, we chant about the Lord's name. So slowly, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says us, Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. He gives us the buddhi to understand about him. So when we understand about Krishna, we understand everything. Tesha Vijñāti Sarvam Eva Vijñātam Bhavanti. It says in Mundaka Upanishad 1.3. So if someone understands the Supreme, he understands everything. Why? Because he is everything. We know that Krishna is everything. He is superior truth. He is above all. So this was the explanation given by Srila Prabhupada for this verse. So there were so many points. So I made it into a shorter version. So with Krishna's mercy, today we all have the fortunate to discuss about this beautiful verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lilla 25.31. So if possible, I'll try to share that link also. So much points were given by Srila Prabhupada, very beautiful points. So I'll try to share after the class. Is that fine?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Okay,
sure, Mataji, sure.
Yes,
Haribol.
Mataji. Please share, Mataji.
Yes. Yeah, Mataji.
Hare
So
Krishna. Can I read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
ये अन्ये रविन्दाक्ष विमुक्तमानिनस् द्वय्यस्तभावात् अविशुद्धबुद्धया आरुह्य कृच्छ्रेण परं पदं तथा पतन्त्यदो अनादृता युष्मादङ्ग्रयः. Translation by
I'll just scroll it. Yeah.
Yes. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. O lotus-eyed one, those who think they are liberated in this life, but who are devoid of devotional service to you, are of impure intelligence. Although they accept severe austerities and penances and rise to the spiritual position through impersonal Brahman realization, they fall down again because they neglect to worship your lotus feet. Purport: this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.30. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll just see what it has been described in this verse. So such a class of men simply trying to understand. So what is Brahman, what is not Brahman, but practically he will simply be engaged in so many material sense gratification, but he will not give up anything, even not smoking. Everything he'll keep in contact, but he will discuss very scholarly, very high knowledgeable person he might be, but he cannot understand what really the God is. So he may be very scholarly person, he may be very high knowledgeable person, but he cannot give anything. He cannot deliver the Guru Parampara, the words properly to anyone of us. So everything he will keep in contact, but he will discuss very scholarly. This is not Brahman, this is Brahman. They will not be having the clear way of understanding. They may be very scholar, but they will not have the clear way of understanding. This is simply a waste of time. Therefore, such person who simply waste their time in that way, if they think I have been liberated, if it has been clearly mentioned that if you are not practicing devotional service, there is no way of liberation. So, but they think, okay, if I have this much knowledge, if I speak to them, I am getting liberated. I'll be liberated. So no. So Bhagavad Gita also says that their intelligence is not purified because the way of understanding is not clear cut, because their intelligence is not purified. So they are less intelligence. Why? Still because the result of his being qualified is not being utilized. They have very much scholarly person. They are very well knowledgeable, but they are not using, they are not utilizing it in a proper way, because their intelligence is not purified. They have less intelligence. So that is the problem. So he is not engaged in Krishna consciousness or devotional service. And they do severe austerities to meditate. But they meditate on what? So that is the main thing we have to understand. Mayavadis, they meditate on impersonal Brahman. So what they meditate upon? So example was given by Srila Prabhupada in one of the beautiful, in one of his sites, that Hatha Yogis, what they do, Hatha Yogis, they practice too much on bodily concept, right? So they try to exercise and see what is there within them. So because they know that Paramatma is residing in their heart. So, but still, their concept, they mainly focus on bodily feature, bodily concept. So, but one who knows that I am not this body, I am the pure soul, I am the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So my duty is to serve the Supreme Lord. So it is a very simple truth. I am the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Then what is my duty? Then we actually slowly we start realizing, what is my realization? I am not this body. I am a soul. My duty is to serve the Lord and his devotees. And next part, what it comes, Jivera Swarupohoya Krishnera Nitya Dasa. That comes in our mind. So my duty is to abide by the orders of the Lord. That is the version of all Vedic scriptures. And Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic scriptures. It says, Sarva Dharman Parityacha Mamekam Sharanam Braja. So it says in Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This is the guarantee given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 18.66. So one who does not know this simple fact, then he may go on indulging, wasting his time by meditation, by cultivation of knowledge, by exercise, and so many things are there. But he is not actually, but the Mayavadis, they are not actually in the factual position. So such person, in spite of their austerity and their severe penances, Aruhya Krichena Param Padam Tata. It has been said in 10:32. All this exercise, all this cultivation of knowledge, if they do not reach to the lotus feet of the Lord, they are sure to come down again to these material activities. Surely there is a fall down. Why this fall down is there? That also has been explained by Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord. Why? Because they neglect the beautiful. They neglected your lotus feet. That has been the example given by Srila Prabhupada. So if we neglect the worship of lotus feet of the Lord, then there is a chance to fall down again into this material activities. Is that fine, Mataji's and Prabhuji's?
Yes, Mother.
One second. Yes, Mataji. Can someone volunteer for 33rd shloka?
Can I read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Brahma Shabdi Kahe Shabda Sat Aishwarya Purna Bhagavan Thandre Anirvesesha Tapi Apurnata Hayahana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai. The word Brahma, the greatest, indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full in all six opulences. But if we take the one inside impersonalist view, his fullness is diminished. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
No, Mataji. Sorry, Mataji, it's a very long purport. So
Haribol.
already
Thank
we
you,
are running
Mataji.
out of time. Sorry, Mataji. I'll just explain. Yeah. So in 33rd verse, it has been explained about the word Brahman. So the chief disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati, he is repeating what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained about Vedanta Sutra and Upanishads. So he accepts, yes. So the Brahman, the great means you're the great. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're the great. He is great in all aspects. How he is great in all aspects, Lord, how he is great in all aspects, we have to think. Because God is great in 6 opulences. So if a man is rich or great in all opulences, then where is the impersonality? If a man is rich in 6 of the opulences, can somebody let me know what are the 6 opulences of the God?
Name,
Strength,
fame,
strength,
strength,
wealth, beauty, knowledge,
renunciation,
fame,
beauty.
and renunciation.
Fame,
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. So Lord is he is full in all these 6 opulences. So then where is the impersonality there? So these all are the personal qualifications. See, when it is in full, 100% full, there is no impersonality. So these are the special qualifications of the Lord, right? So that has been explained. So Brahman or the supreme or the absolute truth cannot be impersonal. Then how can God be the impersonal? So impersonal may be a feature, but ultimately he is a person. One must know the Lord has a personal future. This is the complete way of understanding. So, but obviously the Mayavadi philosophies, they are against this. They say that God doesn't have any feature at all. He doesn't have any form at all. So, but we have to clearly understand that God has his 6 opulences and he has all in full. So if he has in all in full, that he has some personal qualification that we have to clearly understand about. Mataji, can someone go for the next verse?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
श्रुति पुराण कहे कृष्ण रचित 36 विलासा ताहा नाही मानी पंडित करे उपहासा. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Vedas, the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutra and the Puranas all describe the activities of the spiritual potency of the Lord. If one cannot accept the personal activities of the Lord, he jokes foolishly and gives an impersonal description. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So it has been some of the points I took from this paper. Let us all discuss. So Shruti means what? We have to know. The Shruti means Vedas. The Vedas clearly say that all these manifestations that are out of the energy, it has been come from energy, right? So from this mountainhead, from this energy, from the supreme laws, from the supreme Lord, from the absolute truth, all this energy is manifesting. But this energy emanating from the powerhouse. Who is the powerhouse? The powerhouse is Lord Sri Krishna. So he is a person, right? So the person is Bhagavan. So from this Bhagavan, all these energies are, it's coming out from him. This is the supreme personality of Godhead. Ultimately, that is the evidence given from the Vedic scriptures. The Vedas says, the Purana says, the Shruti says, everything says. What it says? Taha nahi mani pandita kare upahasa. So all these impersonalities, they do not accept that this personal accept of absolute truth, and they laugh at the devotees on what they are doing here, less intelligence. So, but we have to decide who is less intelligent person from the Vedic literature. So if we do not accept the decision and the essence given by the Vedic literature in Bhagavad Gita. So what it has been described in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna understood clearly. He accepted the Lord that Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. It has been said in Bhagavad Gita 10.12. Please try, kindly read this translation and purport. Beautifully it has been given. So you are the Supreme Lord and nobody knows your personality. So personality is accepted. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says that the Vedic literature is to accept the Supreme Personality of God. But what do the Mayavadis, what they do? They reject the God. They are against the Lord. So they don't accept the Lord. So, but what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is clearly saying here, that Vedic literature, the Vedas, what they say is to accept the Supreme Personality of God. And we have to accept the God is there, God has a form, God has his opulences, God has energies. So we have to clearly understand this. or else we'll be into Mayavadi philosophy. So this is a discrimination. What like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to explain, that he is describing about the Lord, he is describing about the Vedanta Sutra, Upanishads, and side by side he is telling about the Mayavadi philosophies also, how they are against, how they are not accepting them. Is it fine, Mataji's, Prabhuji's?
Krishna Mataji, maybe.
1 minute,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Next verse, I'll go next verse.
Read Mataji.
1 second, Mataji.
Yeah.
In time to upload. Yes, Mataji. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chidananda Krishna Vigraha Maika Kati Mani Ei Bada Papa Satya Chaitanya Ravani. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Mayavadis do not recognize the personal form of the Lord as spiritual and full of bliss. This is a great sin. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statements are actually factual.
Thank you,
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what it does means, the Mayavadis, they are always trying to understand how God is eyeless, handless, and legless. So they always think that God doesn't have any form, right? So Lord has a beautiful eyes, Lord has a beautiful hands, Lord has a beautiful face, he has a beautiful form, Tribhanga form. So if we think that Lord is a formless, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying this is a very big offense. So according to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is a great offense because they are against the God. So therefore, we have to clearly think about, they are life after life, they are studying this impersonalism, but they don't have the proper perfection. There is no perfection in them. So it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sa Durlabha. So how to connect this shloka to that Bhagavad Gita shloka? So after many, many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. So Lord is guaranteeing, knowing me to the cause of all causes, and that is such great soul is very, very rare. It has been explained in Bhagavad Gita 7.19. So we have to now relate how, by collecting or reading Bhagavad Gita, or reading Bhagavatam, we gain knowledge. But by simply collecting the knowledge, it's not meant for liberation. It is not, oh, I know this, so I'm very well versed in Bhagavad Gita, I know Bhagavatam, all this. No, it does not lead to liberations. So otherwise, why it has to be stated Bahunam Janmanam Ante? So Lord says that if you have actual knowledge, you have surrendered unto me, then you're a great soul, you will come to me, right? But here what it has been said, that Bahunam Janmanam. Janma means it is not a liberation. You have to again take birth in the material world. That means you are not liberated. In Bhagavad Gita, it is specifically stated that Bahunam Janmanam Ante. That means after many births. So the acceptance of material body will keep on continue. But why? Because you're not accepting that God has a form, God has so much energies. So we have to surrender to the Lord. Jivera Swarupoi Krishnera Nityadasa, we have to serve the Lord and his devotees. So if you are not surrendered to the Lord, then Bahunam Janmanam, you have to take so many birth, and we have to do again all the activities starts from 0, right? So again we have to fall down. So, but we understand that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Sa Mahatma Sa Durlabha. When we comes to that point that God is everything, Krishna is everything, when we started accepting and we started applying into our life that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that God is everything, then Krishna is everything. That is the perfection. So, Chidananda Krishna Vigraha Maika Kari Mani Ye Bhada Papa. So, if we are not accepting that God as a form, he has a spiritual body, it is full of bliss. If you are not accepting that, then it is a very big papa. It's a very big offense. So it's a sinful conclusion that God is a imperson. So God is not an imperson. He is a person which is full of Sat, Chit and Ananda. He has a spiritual, he is full of bliss. That we have to keep it in our mind, and we have to think that we have to totally surrender to the God, and we have to accept that Krishna is everything. Or otherwise, there is a chance of falling down again into this material world, and we'll be in the cycle of birth and death again and again. So he is talking about the Mayavadi philosophies, how they are not accepting the God and how they are coming back again into the platform of material world and again repeating into the cycle of birth and death. So we should not follow the Mayavada philosophy, and we should not think about the impersonal Brahman. Mataji, can someone volunteer for 36th verse?
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Nata param paramayat bhavata swarupam anandamatrama vikalpam aviddavarchaha pashyami vishvasajamekam avishwamatman bhutendriyatmakam upashrito asmi. Translation based Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Supreme One, the transcendental form I am now seeing is full of transcendental bliss. It is not contaminated by the external energy. It is full of effulgence. My Lord, there is no better understanding of you than this. You are the Supreme Soul and the creator of this material world. But you are not connected with this material world. You are completely different from created form and variety. I sincerely take shelter of that form of yours, which I am now seeing. This form is the original source of all living beings and their senses.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Lalita. So in this verse, it has been explained that Supreme Lord, the Supreme Absolute Truth, the ultimate goal. That means it is stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.7. Matta parataram nanyat astit kinti dhanjaya. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as a pearls are strung on a thread. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 2, Ananda Matram, the transcendental body of Krishna. It is simply Ananda. It is simply blissful. Ours is material body and ours is Nirananda. It is without Ananda. So what is the main thing? We have to understand that we are trying to adjust to have Ananda or pleasure by the limited resources of our senses. But actually there is no Ananda or no bliss, because our senses are impure, imperfect senses we have, right? So these imperfect senses, we cannot attain Ananda or bliss. It is all miserable only. So this material body is condemned. So Lord Rishabhadev also said in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.4, it says, Nunam pramataha kurute vikrama yad indriya pritya apnoti. So pratamaha means, the word is used here, means mad. This material nature program is such that the conditioned souls who are here, they should live a life in a regulated, they should lead their life in a regulated way. But ultimately, it will take back home, back to Godhead. So, suppose we are all the children of the Supreme Lord. So, here we came to enjoy this material world, paramataha, sarvataha, and we do not know what is our real interest, self-interest. And we are thinking that I am this body. Because of this ignorance, we are into the cycle of birth and death. So, we should come out of that, as said by Lord Bhagavad Gita in 2nd chapter. It deals about we are the soul. I'm not this body. We are the soul. That concept we should be very, very clear. So, and therefore, with this little sense gratification, cause this body means they are different senses, and we can gratify the senses. We think we are happy, but no. In this material world, it is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It is full of miseries only. Padam padam vipadam natesham. There is a danger in each and every steps in this material. Then how can we find happiness? We should find where we can get the real happiness. So according to that, we have to follow that footsteps. So this is madness, he is saying. With this sense gratification, we cannot attain the Ananda. We are in Nirananda. So further, Lord Rishabhadev says that Prabhavastavat abodha jato yavan na jignasata atma tattvan. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.5. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance, as we said earlier and we discussed about earlier. But it's sinful or pious. Karma has its own resultants of actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karma atmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is in impure consciousness, is unclear, as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept this material body. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lilla, 9th chapter, 29 verse also say, Ramanta Yogina. Because why all this is saying? Because we need happiness. We are hankering for happiness. We are behind of happiness. So we should clearly understand to get that happiness, to maintain that happiness, what we have to do. So what activity if we do, our senses will be satisfied. That we should be clear cut in our mind. So Ramante Yoginaha Ante. We should act like a yogi. Yogis are not interested in this bodily sense gratification. So yogi means who are trying to re-establish their link with the absolute truth. So they wanted unlimited blissfulness. Ramante Yoginaha Anta Satyanande. Satyanande means what? Real happiness. So these are all temporary happiness, because this material world is full of this material world is temporary and we cannot expect the real happiness. So Satyanande means real happiness, which is never to be broken and it is unlimited. There is no end. So where we can get this happiness? So why all these points has been discussed here means the Lord form is superior. So Lord has a spiritual form. He is Ananda. But our material body, our material senses are Nirananda. So even Brahmaji also says this in Brahma Samhita 5.33, how Lord has many, many eternal blissful forms of knowledge. So this is a better way of understanding. So this is the real understanding of the Lord, that this is the difference between our understanding and the impersonalist, Mayavadi's understanding. They think that the God doesn't have any form. So these are the sum of points have been taken from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.9.
Mataji, can you give 3 point? Can you give us this same sloka reference, Mataji? Madhya Lilla? About this last sloka?
9.29, Mataji.
9.29.
You are asking that one? Ramante Yoginaha Ante.
Yeah, this last one which you were just explaining.
Yeah. I will share in the group, Mataji. Is that fine, Batma Mataji?
Yeah, 9.29.
Yes, Mataji.
9.29 or 29?
9.29.
9.29. Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. Oh,
Hare
sorry,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji, I have a question when you finish.
One second, Mataji. Can I take 3 more minutes, Mataji? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Drishtam Shrutam Bhuta Bhavat Drishtam Shrutam Bhuta Bhavat Bhavishyat Sthanuscharishnu Mahad Alpakam Va Vinchachuta Vinachutat Vastutaram Navachyam Sa Eva Sarvam Paramatma Bhutah. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of all causes. He is past, present, and future, and He is the movable and immovable. He is the greatest and the smallest, and He is visible and directly experienced. He is celebrated in the Vedic literature. Everything is Krishna, and without Him there is no existence. He is the root of all understanding, and He is that which is understood by all words. Purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.46.43 was spoken by Uddhava when he came to pacify all the inhabitants of Vrindavana during Krishna's absence. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So, the Lord is, it has been explained here, Lord is movable, immovable, greatest, smallest. He is visible and directly experienced. So, we can find the Lord as Anoranyam Mahatomanyam. The Lord is smallest than the smallest and the greatest than the greatest. In Isho Upanishad number 5, if you go to the, if you read that verses, it has been clearly explained that ejati tan naijati, tad dure tan vantike. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walks. Tad antor asya sarvasya akilata. He is far away and he is very nearer to us also. So he is within everything as the Paramatma, as the super soul, and outside as the Virata Purusha. So the contradictions are resolvable. So only in Krishna. How this contradiction are resolvable in Krishna? Because he is a conceivable potency because of his inconceivable potencies. For example, when I was searching some of the points, I got a beautiful video of Radheshyam Prabhu. So he was explaining about these verses. So Lord Narasimhadev, this about the contradictions happening in Lord. So when he was keeping his hand on the head of Prahlad Maharaj when he was about to about kill Hiranyakashipu. So when he was keeping his hand on Prahlad Maharaj, so the Lord has as a cutting tool of nails that is reserved for Hiranyakashipu. But the soft hand was on the head of Prahlad Maharaj. So both things we can see in Lord, right? So this is called Viraja Dhapi Katoram Kusuma Dhapi Komal. So these two contradictions are resolved in one person. So in Krishna only. So in the same manner, Krishna can be far away and he can be near with us also. So how do we know? For example, when he is in Vaikunta, so Gajendra was in very mistress way. So he called, "Oh Lord, oh Adi Guru." Immediately, Lord came from Vaikunta and he was next to him to save Lord Gajendra, right? So Anoranya Mahatomanya. He is the greatest and he is the smallest in Virata Rupa, Vishwarupa. And he is the smallest of the smallest. So how in Virata Rupa we can see the Lord in a very huge form. And while in the smallest form, we can see Lord Krishna in Yashoda's lap, right? So he comes as the smallest form. So he can do both. He can be the smallest and he can be the greatest. All these things he can do. And also Loka Vedascha Atosmi. Similarly, he is celebrated in Vedic literature also. So he is the Supreme Court. Without him, nothing can be exist. So I'm so sorry. I've took so much of time. So I'm so sorry for that. Because so many nice points were given by Srila Prabhupada. I thought that I should not miss it. So thought of sharing with you all. Thank you so much. And please forgive me if any of my words is out of parampara. So and please bless me too.
One
Yes,
small
Mataji.
question.
Yes, Mataji.
This impersonal, impersonal people, they believe in, they believe in, sorry, Mayavadis, they believe in the impersonal form of the Lord.
Yes,
right?
Mataji.
So how do they call you're Narayan, I'm Narayan, Narayana has form? So
but
how
they
do
don't
call
accept, no, they don't have that intelligence that God has feature. Impersonal Brahman means what, Mataji? Brahman effulgence means they worship on light. Right?
Yes, that I know, yeah.
Yeah, so the light means they think Narayana. Yeah, because we have to clearly understand Narayana is not God. Narayana is another like part and parcel of the Lord. But
yes,
Narayana is above that. We have to clearly understand there is another form. Krishna is there. From Krishna only everything emanates. Narayana, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Shirodhara Sai Vishnu. So many of them, it comes only from Krishna, right? But they don't go beyond that. They stuck in impersonal feature only. That means effulgence, the light purpose.
Yeah. So you mean to say they think that effulgence is Narayan, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the Brahma Jyoti.
Brahma Jyoti, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pranams,
Hope it is
Mataji.
clear. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hope it is clear, Padma Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. I don't know that they believe the Brahma Jyoti as Narayan. That was
actually they don't know the real meaning of Narayana. So it's simply Narayana is God. They think that Narayana is God, but actual God is Krishna only.
Yeah. So that's the point. Okay, thanks, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry if any of my words is out of parampara, and please.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu
कृपा सिंधु
patitanam
तदा
pavanebhyo
पावने
vaishnavibhyo
नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Nicely explained.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
With
Krishna.
your
Thank you,
permission, Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Can I end the meeting, Mataji, with all your permission?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Thanks.